Hey everyone, Hilbert here with Colorado River Outfitters, and we got another fly tying video for you today where we're going to tie a super effective pattern. It's been around a long time. We're going to do the Halfback Nymph. This is a Stonefly imitation. It was created back in the late 1960s, I believe, by a gentleman by the name of Ed Marsh. He's a Colorado native, spent a lot of time on the South Platte and Arkansas River, and this thing's been whacking fish for a lot of people for many years. This has been a staple for me on my guide trips here the past 3-4 weeks here, and this is one I really like to go to anytime there's an increase in flow or high water and lots of stoneflies are getting kicked loose. Something about this Hackle and Peacock body that the trout just seem to not be able to resist. Pretty straightforward tie. If you're a beginner, this is a good one. Kind of teaches you how to work with Hackle without needing to make it look pretty. So highly recommend you guys giving this a go. We're going to start with a size 10 Montana Fly Company 7231. This is like a 2x heavy, 2x long nymph hook, and really strong. You won't straighten this thing out. We're going to pair this with a 3.3, I believe, 3.0 or 3.3 black nickel tungsten bead. For thread, just some brown 6.0. You can use black or any kind of stonefly color to match the pattern. We're just going to use brown. Alright, let's start my thread behind the bead there, and we're going to lay a thread base all the way to the back of the hook shank, and I like to end where my thread is hanging about even there with the hook barb. And this fly uses all natural materials. The tail and wing case is going to be pheasant tail, and I do mine a little untraditional. It makes it a little bit more durable. Been tying it that way for a long time, and I have far fewer come apart. As you look at the fly with the pheasant tail shell back, it looks like it should be just super brittle, but the way I'm going to show you today is the way I do it, and it definitely lasts a lot longer. So we're going to grab a clump of pheasant tail fibers. Maybe I got a dozen or so, and I'm going to put a tail that's maybe half the shank in length, relatively short tail, not a super bulky one, that's a touch long. And I want that kind of sticking up like so. Nicked my thread there, but we're going to survive. And I'm going to wrap this forward all the way to the bead. Now, traditionally you would tie in this tail and then wrap the pheasant tail back, and your shell back would be right here in these kind of thin brown fibers. We're going to wrap this all the way forward and trim it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this in so that our shell back is at the thickest part of these pheasant tail fibers, and we kind of got this mottled, almost golden stone looking color. So I basically just line that up with the back of the fly and capture it. And I want to keep this on top. I'm going to wrap rearward, locking that in right like so. Nick my thread, and there's a few little fuzzies there driving me nuts. Alright, there we go. For a hackle, you can really use any brown or brown grizzly hackle you want. I just got some kind of junky hand neck, really thick stems on this. I probably wouldn't tie dries, but it's perfect for this pattern. And we're going to size this really the exact same way you would size for when you're getting ready to do your dry fly. I want the tip of the feather here to be just shy of the hook gap, or right at the hook gap. That should be up in 2 there. That looks like it's going to be pretty good. There we go. And these have a little bit more of a taper to them. We have some longer fibers up here. I'm going to do is coax these hackle fibers back. I'm going to trim out a small little triangle tie-in point. And we're going to capture that right here at the back. And I want this underside of this feather facing down, so when I go to wrap this, everything's facing forward the correct way there. I'm not sure if the trout care about that too much, but that's the way you're supposed to tie it in anyhow. And then I'm going to grab 5 or 6 strands of Peacock Hurl, and I like to cut about 1 inch off to even up the tips there. I'm going to come all the way to this bead just to build some underbody. We're going to tie our materials in at the bead. I'm going to wrap rearward all the way to the back to where we ended our shell back, and we're going to come forward about the halfway point. Alright, one thing we can do to help durability on this is apply a fair amount of super glue. So I like putting a healthy amount there on the body. I'm going to grab all this Peacock Hurl and I'm going to twist this to kind of make a Peacock Hurl rope. And I'll maybe turn it a dozen times or so until it starts to wind up like this and looks like a rope. That's going to give you a really nice tight body. Also helps that Peacock Hurl not break apart when trout teeth nick it. And we're just going to use the rotary to build a really nice Peacock Hurl abdomen here. On myself, I'm going to tighten that up just a touch more. About halfway. Okay. Now, you're more than welcome to leave these sticking out while you do the next few steps. I find it really annoying and they're in the way, so I generally trim them off and we'll retie these back in here when we're ready for them. Don't discard these. Okay, now we're going to bring that hackle feather around, rotating it. And we're going to wrap right through the Peacock Hurl here. And there's some openly spaced turns. I'm going to pull it to the far side and kind of wiggle my thread in there so I don't capture too many fibers. Just like that. And if you do grab some, like I just did there, you can pop them out with your scissor. Not important. There we go. Alright, we're going to leave that hanging just like so. I'm going to kind of coax these fibers to the side here. And we're going to bring those pheasant tail fibers forward. And again, you'll notice these are way thicker, much more durable than the fibers closer to the tip. And it gives you that nice kind of stonefly mottled look there. We're going to sneak our scissors in here and just trim that out. Bring my hackle around, coax that backwards, and tile that out. Alright. Going back to our Peacock Hurl here. And it's okay if this Peacock Hurl is kind of junky at this point, it's more of an underbody. And when I say junky, these flutes aren't very long, they're kind of scraggly and don't look super great, but they're going to serve their purpose. And we're going to once again, pretty healthy super glue coating. I'm going to spin these again. Do it better when I'm facing me. Sorry, you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing too much here. And you can see that gives you a nice, even though it's kind of crappy peacock at this point, it gives you a nice bushy peacock body. I'll go right up to the bead, secure those down, and trim them really flush. Alright, get our hackle pliers here, and we're going to wrap that hackle usually 2.5, 3 turns or so. Have to end right there behind the bead. Have just enough. Once that's secure, put a little glue on my thread here, and I can go right into my whip finish to really secure everything down. Turn that off. Grab your dubbing brush and kind of pick out some of those hackles there that might have got jammed up. But that's all there is to a halfback nymph. Really buggy, deadly effective stonefly imitation. You can do them with a bead, without a bead. I've been fishing this a lot in tandem with a small San Juan worm, and then any of my small, emergers or betas or midge. The sexy top has been kind of my go-to fishing this. Kind of halfback nymph, San Juan worm, sexy top. That's been kind of the killer combo, if you will, here, at least on the Roaring Fork here the last few weeks. So, but relatively quick tie, and gives you some practice there with working with hackle, and these things just whack the heck out of the fish. And been fishing this one a long time, and it's kind of my go-to, like I said, when flows bump and maybe you got a little bit of turbidity in the water. I'm not sure what it is about peacock, hurl, and dirty water, but it just seems to be a fish magnet. So that is the halfback nymph. Hope you guys enjoy that one. Definitely tie some up. This is a good one.